Good evening, Charlotte, and welcome to week 8 of QC Quarantine Concerts. My name is Zach Charlton. I'm your host for these episodes. I cannot believe that we are on episode 28 tonight. What a journey it has been over the past 8 weeks, and I'm so excited to be kicking off this week with two very, very, very special theater guests. I'm going to go ahead and introduce them and bring them onto our broadcast. Welcome, Iris DeWitt and Morgan Wakefield. Welcome, friends.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. It is awesome to have you on. I know that I have enjoyed seeing you both in many, many, many shows, and most recently you were both in Chess at Central Piedmont. So it's been crazy kind of over this past little bit, going from doing shows to then now having this crazy break, having shows that we were cast in be put on hold, all sorts of other unfortunate things happening. But so great to be able to connect tonight, even if it is over the internet, virtually coming to you across the computer screen. But I'm going to get out of the way for a minute because I know that there's a lot of other people out there that are watching that want to get to know the two of you that may have seen you in shows. And so tell us a little bit about yourself, shows you've done in Charlotte, and things that we may have seen you in. Iris, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I have been involved in the Charlotte theater community since 2016. After graduating from high school, I decided to get back to my first love and started working with CPCC. My first show in the area was Pride and Prejudice there. And after that, just my theater love just continued to blossom. I believe I've done almost 20 shows now since then. So it's been great. I've been able to work with a lot of great theaters out there. I've done most of my work at CPCC. Love those people out there. Tom Hollis, I don't care what you say, you're not retiring, you're not leaving us. I've worked with Matthews, Davidson Community Players, Fort Mill, Community Playhouse, Belmont with the Abbey Players, so many great theaters in the area that put on amazing shows. And I've just been thankful to be a part of it and been able to get so much work out here. The Greater Charlotte Community Theater is just a huge family. And
it is. It is. And that is incredible. That many shows in that short amount of time. You clearly are on the crazy train with me. So, here we are. It's all good.
Exactly. I don't sleep. I do have a full-time job. So I do my legal work during the day, 9 to 5. And when I'm not doing that, I am either at rehearsal, performing on a stage, or memorizing lines for my upcoming show. There are even times when I'm doing 3 shows at the same time. That happened last year. So crazy town over here, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Absolutely love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Iris, for carving out this little block of time tonight for us. We appreciate it. It is so awesome to have you on here. So thanks again. Morgan.
All right. I have been all over since I was like 14. I started with Beauty and the Beast Jr. at Theater Charlotte, and that became my theater little home. And since then, I've done Sweet Charity there as Charity. I was in Spring Awakening Gypsy there. A little more recently, I did, well, not recently, but I was Hoddle and Fiddler at CPCC, Judy in a chorus line there, and Viola in Shakespeare in Love.
Awesome. So you have done so many things. We have worked together on way too many shows. I know we were talking about that kind of backstage before we started tonight. We won't recount all of those because those are from like Zach's bygone era. We will not talk about those. But one of the things that I was thinking about before coming on tonight was just how much of a community this theater community is in Charlotte. And Iris, I know we haven't done a show together. I know we've seen each other in passing. We've seen shows that each of us have worked on. But just like, even if we haven't done a show together, how you still know these people, you still feel like you know them, you still feel like they're part of that family, so that when you go see them in shows, it's definitely kind of, you're feeling that support and feeling that love. And that's one of the things that I just really love about this community. And I'm so excited to get back to when we can. So I'm glad that, you guys have, projects that, you're working on, projects you're still kind of holding out for, things that are being rescheduled, and just being flexible to allow those things to come when they do. And I think that's pretty awesome. So we're going to kick off with a little bit of singing. I'm going to get out of the way and stop talking. And if I'm correct, I think that Morgan, you are going to kick us off. So Iris, I'm going to pop you out for a second. We'll be right back. So, Morgan, I know that this first song you're going to sing is from a role that you absolutely hate. You don't ever want to see the show again. You don't ever want to be this role. If you know Morgan Wakefield, you know this is on her like bottom list of all musicals ever. Not. So, Morgan, go ahead and tell us what you're going to sing, and then take it away.
I will be singing "Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again" from the horrible musical Phantom of the Opera.
Awesome. Take it away, Morgan.
You were once my one companion. You were all that mattered. You were once a friend and father. Then my world was shattered. Wishing you were somehow here again. Wishing you were somehow near. Sometimes it seems if I just dream, somehow you would be here. Wishing I could hear your voice again, knowing that I never would. Dreaming of you won't help me to do all that you dreamed I could. Passing bells and sculpted angels, cold and monumental, seem for you the wrong companions. You were warm and gentle. Too many years fighting back tears. Why can't the past just die? Wishing you were somehow here again, knowing we must say goodbye. Try to forgive, teach me to live. Give me the strength to try. No more memories, no more silent tears, no more gazing across the wasted years. Say goodbye. Say
Well done, Miss Morgan Wakefield.
Thank you.
Bravo. I don't think I have ever heard you actually sing from the Phantom of the Opera. I know I've heard you like jokingly sing around backstage and stuff, but to hear you really sing that material, that is clearly like you're in your element with that. And well done. Thank you so much. Oh, awesome. I'm going to pop Iris in, and then we're going to switch over to Iris. But Morgan, I'm going to keep you on for just a second, because Iris, you're about to sing another song that's from kind of a dream role of yours. And I think it's so cool that you guys are getting to sing this material here now, because it's something that we may not have heard you sing in a show, in an audition, etc. But to really hear you sing these songs that you clearly love, that mean something to you, that's a role that you want to play, I think that's so cool to have that opportunity. It's something that we don't necessarily get to do a lot in theater because we're so busy kind of taking other projects, playing other roles, doing other things that, we don't have time a lot to focus on kind of those songs and those moments that mean a lot to us. So thank you, Morgan. We're going to visit with you in just a little bit. And Iris, you're going to sing a song, another one, a show, of course, just like Morgan, you hate it. You don't ever want to see it, So I love that you're going to sing this for us tonight. So go ahead and transitioning from, classic Andrew Lloyd Webber now over to the Disney songbook with the Little Mermaid. Take it away with some Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Yes. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch. True, yes. And I fortunately know a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed. And here lately, please don't laugh, I use it on behalf of the miserable, the lonely, and depressed. Pathetic, poor, unfortunate souls, in pain, in need. This one longing to be thinner, that one wants to get the girl, and do I help them? Yes, indeed. Those poor, unfortunate souls, so sad, so true. They come flocking to my cauldron, calling spells, Ursula, please, and I help them. Yes, I do. Now it's happened once or twice, someone couldn't pay the price, and I'm afraid I had to rake them across the coals. Yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole I've been a saint to those poor unfortunate souls. Now here's my best offer, babykins. I know a spell that will turn you human for 3 days, but there is a procedural clause, sort of a squid pro quo, if you will. By the time the sun sets on the 3rd day, you've got to get dear old Princey Pooh to kiss you, and if you do, you'll stay human forever. Oh, nothing drastic, I'm sure. Oh, look, small print. Your soul is mine forever, and you're doomed to spend eternity in my watery hell-soaked lair. Lawyers, don't you just love them? Oh, yes, there is one more matter. My fee.
I don't have anything.
Oh, I'm not asking for much. Only your voice.
My voice? If I give away my voice, how can I...
Oh, you'll have your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the power of body language. Come on, you poor unfortunate soul. Go ahead, make your choice. I'm a very busy woman and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much, just your voice. You poor unfortunate soul. It's sad, but true. If you wanna cross the bridge, my sweet, you gotta pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath. Go ahead and sign the scroll. Flock some jetsam, now I got it, boys. The boss is on the roll. You pop unfortunate
Oh my goodness, that was awesome. And there were props. Oh, that was so cool.
This is my baby, Mr. Bingley. He is no stranger to the stage either. Those of you that went and saw Gypsy at CPCC, Mr. Bingley was Chowsy. So, we're a, mother-son duo in the Charlotte theater community.
There you go. I love it. You both have theater credits. How awesome. I'm going to pop Morgan back in here. There's a couple comments that I want to bring up with both of you here because these are making me smile. Because our dear friend Patrick, who we've had on before, has said 2 things. He had said, the only Christine that matters. And then he followed that up with, the only Ursula that matters. I love that. That makes me smile. Thank you, Patrick.
Aw,
And again, the two of you, incredible. So great to hear you sing from these roles. Obviously, we don't know when they'll come back around again, but if they do, when they do, there you go, Charlotte. There's some awesome, awesome, awesome talent out there. So great. So I want to talk a little bit more about kind of our Charlotte theater community, all the kind of different things that we've done. I know you mentioned a few roles that you've done recently that we may have seen you in Charlotte, but if you could kind of pick one project, it doesn't necessarily have to be your favorite role or your favorite show, but is there one project that just really sticks out to you for kind of something different that you learned in it that you weren't expecting to? Maybe kind of you were in a different role than you thought you were going to be, or just something really like awesome that happened that you'll kind of take with you into future shows.
I can go first, Morgan, if you're.
I was like thinking.
All right. The most definitive role for me, and it's so funny, I actually was just talking to my mom about this. It was in high school, I got the role of Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. And that role was just so important to me. And, I keep the lessons that I learned during that show with me all the time, is because my director, he truly understood what diversity and inclusion means. Because a lot of theaters out there, when it comes to diversity and inclusion, they think, if we have, a certain show that calls for, a certain race of people, like your Ragtimes, your West Side Stories, Showboats, shows where race is inherent. If you have, one of those in your season, that's what diversity and inclusion is, right? But that's not really what it is. It's being able to make opportunities for those actresses and actors of color, in shows where race is not inherent to the story and it doesn't matter. And I was so appreciative of my director at that time, because up until then I had placed myself in a box in terms of what roles I could play. This one has a sassy Black girl. I'm sassy, I'm Black, so this is what I can do. So going into it, that's, the role that I was auditioning for one of the 3 street urchins. And I was able to get Audrey, and he didn't cast me because I was Black and sassy. He didn't cast me because I was the blonde bombshell. He cast me because he thought that I was the best. And ever since that day, that has stuck with me. And I now go for roles, just because it's something that I want to do, regardless of the race of whoever originated the role. And it's just amazing when theaters out there, and there are many theaters in Charlotte that do the same and have that true diversity and inclusion in their casting. And for that, I'll forever be grateful. And Chris Carter from CDS High School in Tempe, Arizona, if you're watching, thank you. Love you for giving me the opportunity and teaching me that very important lesson. And happy retirement to you. He's actually retiring this year. So Chris Carter, thank you.
Awesome. That's way to drop the mic there, Iris. I love it, but so important. And I'm so glad you mentioned that. But yes, awesome. Morgan.
It was actually how many years ago? I don't know. But my last year at college, we did Julius Caesar, and a lot of times people are like, "Oh, you're an ingenue," or "You're like the quirky girl," and I'm like, "Yeah, haha, that's me." But I auditioned, and they said we don't care what gender any of the characters are, and I got Mark Antony, and I was like, "What?" Like, military leader, like bro kind of guy who has like this 30 long minute speech, and I was like, oh, little dainty me playing it. So it was so amazing to have a professor and director see that in me, like, hey, let's start it, like you were talking about, Iris. But then I was talking to my roommate who was the stage manager so many nights. I was like, I don't know what they were thinking, like how am I gonna do this, like just sitting over the script and being like, well, what would this character think, like, because he's gone through all this war stuff, and I've clearly never gone through all this stuff. But having that experience taught me so much of like, no, Morgan, you know what? You can be a manly man on stage, and you can be like this buff dude kind of guy, this brute force presence on stage. You don't have to apologize almost for your presence. And that was so meaningful to me, because I feel like so often as women, we're like, we have to be pretty on stage and that's all. And I was able to take that experience and transfer it to Viola in Shakespeare in Love, because I was like, she's gorgeous, she's Juliet. And so often I had to say, like, no one cares about a pretty girl. Be honest, be be ugly at times. And I was so happy that Tom Hollis and others at CPCC were like, yes, do that. That's human. We love it. So
Awesome. Thank you both so much. I think that's one thing that's really great, just to have, even in this kind of world of theater, to have those moments of just real authenticity. And when we can really kind of be ourselves, put ourselves out there on the line, and then kind of get that feedback to kind of push ourselves to that next step. So I think that is absolutely incredible. I look forward to seeing all the stuff that you guys get to do in the future. I know it's going to be really, really awesome. And Iris, we are going to work on a show together sometime, somehow, some way. We're going to make it happen. But for now, I'm so glad that we're on here. We can add this to our little book, say, okay, check, we did something, we got something in there. So we're going to pop back in. We're going to have a little bit more music. So Iris, I'm going to pop you back out. We'll see you in just a second. So Morgan, you're going to sing us another song, another role you haven't performed before. And you've never been in this show, correct?
Never been in it.
Have you ever sung this before, in public?
I've done it 2 auditions, but it was sort of just oh, do you know the song? I was like, yeah. They're like, just sing this a little bit. I was like, okay. So, but I've never been able to do the full song, which I'm really excited about.
Awesome. Well, to take us back to a little bit of Stephen Schwartz, Children of Eden, take it away, Morgan.
All right. Oh. Shed no tears for me, there'll be rain enough today. I'm wishing you Godspeed as I send you on your way. This won't be the first time I've stayed behind to face the bitter consequences of an ancient fall from grace. I'm a daughter of the race of Cain, and I am not a stranger to the rain. Orphan in the storm, that's a role I've played before. I've learned not to tremble when I hear the thunder roar. I don't curse what I can't change, I just play the hand I'm dealt. And when they lighten up the rations, I tighten up my belt. I won't say I've never felt the pain, but I am not a stranger to the rain. And for the boy who's given me the sweetest love I've known, I wish for him another love so he won't be alone. But I am bound to walk among the wounded and the slain, and when the storm comes crashing on the plain, I will dance before the lightning to music sacred and profane. Shed no tears for me, light no candle for my sake. This journey I'll be making now is one we all must make. Shoulder to the wind, I'll turn my face into the spray. And when the heavens open, let the drops fall where they may. If they finally wash away the stain from a daughter of the race of Cain, I am not a stranger to the rain. Let it rain.
Well done, Morgan. Thank you. You're gonna have to go look at Miss Hannah Risser's comments on the YouTube when we are done. There's some nice okay belt, yes, so definitely check those out later. But nice to see a completely different side of you, different side of your voice tonight. So thank you, and also what kind of a great timely song and message for right now. That even though it may seem like that rain, we're not a stranger to it. We're going to get through it, and it's going to make us stronger on the other side. And I think that's something that's so important. And I know that Iris is going to kind of focus on a lot of that kind of, self reflection as well here in just a second. So thank you so much, Morgan. We'll check back in with you at the end. Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to bring Iris in, who's going to give us another really nice kind of hopeful message to leave us on musically tonight before we kind of wrap it up with a little chit chat. So Iris, I'm going to bring you back in here. I love that you're seeing, again, we're getting to see a whole different side of your voice in this next song, and a completely different type of role, different character, and then also something that just has a really, I feel like, great message for right now. Kind of tell us a little about why you kind of chose this song to sing tonight.
First of all, the reason that you mentioned it's something a little bit different than I normally sing. Everyone that knows me, super goofy, boisterous. So normally we're still alike in a lot of the roles that you see. So this, allows you to see a little bit of my softer side that isn't always showcased. And then also, I just absolutely love the message. I've been a fan of The Color Purple since I was in high school, and it truly is an amazing, song for anyone that struggles with, self-confidence. If you struggle with not feeling beautiful, there's so many ways, that a person can be beautiful, and that's not just necessarily the exterior. A lot of the times it's the interior that makes you feel beautiful. So I've always loved the song. It's my favorite song in the show, actually. A lot of great ones, but the message behind it, it's always been beautiful to me. And I've actually never sung the song for anyone other than my mom, so it's exciting to get to actually sing it for someone else. So Mom, I know you're probably watching out there. I'm dedicating this one to you, since you're the only person that's ever heard me sing it.
Awesome. I don't think it needs any more introduction than that, so take it away.
Awesome.
I always been the kind of gal that had a lot to say. I says the things that's on my mind, too dumb to shy away. But you hush my mouth and still me with a song I never heard. I guess that means that you are just too beautiful for words. I've seen this life from high and low, and all that's in between. I dance with dukes, crooned with counts, been courted like a queen. But when I see what's in your heart, all the rest is blurred. The grace you bring into this world's too beautiful for words. You hide your head under your wing, just like a little bird. Oh, don't you know you're beautiful, too beautiful for words. Ooh, mommy, you're too beautiful for words.
Awesome work, Iris. That was absolutely beautiful. So timely. I hope I get to see you play that role someday. That would be a great role for you. But what a beautiful, beautiful song, beautiful message for your mom. There it is. There it is, world. You could say you've done it. And then I got to pull up this comment because it's literally what I was talking to you about before you hopped on, which Michelle Obama making a cameo. That's right.
Yes, everyone that knows me knows that I am obsessed with Michelle Obama. She is just the epitome of class and
Yes,
great intelligence. I stand her. That woman can do no wrong. So yes, Michelle has been watching the show over my shoulder,
I
like
love it.
the bestie that she is to me.
So I'm gonna pop Morgan back in real quick. So we're almost done with our time today. I do want to kind of bring this little guy up here. As again, all of our episodes are on qcconcerts.com. Check them out. We have a great lineup coming this weekend on Saturday with Morgan, some of our friends from Spring Awakening,
Yes.
Aida, Avita, a whole bunch of other shows. And then on Sunday, we'll have Craig Allen and Jeremy Mims. So from Spring Awakening also, with a little bit, kind of a whole different set. Jeremy's going to be on the keys, Craig on the vocals. So that'll be a nice little change up there for an episode. So be sure to catch those. But for now, I'm so grateful to have spent my Friday evening with the two of you. It's definitely the end that I needed to the work week. Just very calming, relaxing, hearing some great music. But kind of before we go, I want to kind of leave us like we normally do with just kind of a little reflection, little thought as we head out tonight. So my kind of question for you tonight, and kind of all the stuff that we've been talking about, these shows that you've had kind of that are upcoming, postponed, projects you worked on, etc. Kind of what is one thing that, not necessarily a lesson from this time that you'll take with you, but what is one thing that you've learned about yourself during this quarantine time that you're kind of grateful you've had a chance to explore and you're excited to kind of take with you into the future?
I'll start off this time.
Go for it.
My talents aren't just valuable in front of other people, and for performance sakes, they are just as valuable in the privacy of me, myself, and I.
Yes, that is definitely a very true lesson.
Coming to
And for me, it's the value of self-care. I truly do, I do not give myself enough self-care. As we mentioned earlier, I'm always on the go. I'm letting things bypass. So it's been a really nice time, a forced stop really to get me to stop, reflect on myself, find different ways I can better myself, really reflect on, the things in my life that make me happy, things that don't make me happy, and really work on some changes. So it's been really nice, way for me to, accomplish that self-care that is normally missed, during the given year. So I've been happy about that.
Awesome. I couldn't have said it better. Those are great things. I know those are things I'm working on also. I have not had so much time with my piano at home, and I was just telling Jonathan before this that I could play my piano for hours, and just it's important to take those times and do those things we love, and then in the process take care of ourselves with that. So with that, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure. To all of you out there who are watching or who are going to catch this episode later, thanks so much for joining us. And from all of us here to your houses, have a great night. We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.